poor Vision. He lost his life not once, but twice to protect humanity. But that's not gonna stop me from speculating about what could have been. And no, I'm not talking about what if he survived Infinity War. I'm picturing an entirely different Vision. What if our humble hero was actually a villain? Phase 4 could be incredibly different with just a quick character realignment. Ultron and Vision were created with similar ingredients, but the final products could not have been more different. If that sounds a little bit crazy, just consider that 70% of sea urchin genes have a human counterpart. So don't you get prickly with me. Both of these characters were made with top-tier tech, power from the Mind Stone, and a sprinkling of good intentions that went terribly wrong in one case.
How could you be worthy? You're all killers.
Despite being inhuman himself, Vision's all about showing us humanity, and is all for taking the good with the bad as far as that's concerned.
There is grace in their failings. I think you missed that.
Ah, what a guy. Meanwhile, we have Ultron, who's the culmination of Tony Stark's greatest fears and his desire to control everybody around him. Of course, he's not wrong that it's easier to manage people if they're not alive, but let's just say this presented a certain philosophical difference between himself and Vision.
Stark asked for a savior and settled for a slave.
But what if Vision didn't develop sympathy for us comparatively weak and puny humans? I'm not the first to wonder, what if Vision turned on the Avengers, but I'm talking about specifically in the context of the MCU here. The Avengers could barely defeat Ultron with Vision's help, so if he was working against them, well, let's just say they would have disbanded a lot longer before Avengers Endgame. Ultron saw taking down the Avengers as a stepping stone to wiping out mankind, but let's presume that this evil Vision has the most standard supervillain goal of world domination.
I suppose we are both disappointments.
Not only would the Earth have been in bad shape, but so would Asgard. Loki would have kept ruling while disguised as Odin, but his reign would have ended when Hela showed up. Although his brother did manage to guilt him into doing the right thing in Ragnarok, Loki was fine with escaping their home and never ever looking back. Which means Asgard would have either existed under Hela's iron fist, or it would have been destroyed in Ragnarok, without many of its citizens being rescued. We all know villains don't like threats to their rule, and this could have hindered the reveal of other heroes. Peter Parker would not have had access to Tony Stark's tech, or his unique brand of mentoring.
Previously on Peter Screws the Pooch.
He's a powerful hero, but he's also smart enough to know when he's outmatched, and would likely try to keep a low profile to avoid drawing Vision's ire. Same goes for Hank Pym and his assortment of supersuits. Instead of wondering whether or not to go public with the true power of Wakanda, T'Challa would be conflicted about whether to stay quiet and protect his people, or rise up against Ultron and risk his wrath. But the thing about heroes is that even the prickliest of them always seem to end up on a team, at least temporarily. Nick Fury helped assemble the Avengers, and don't forget he still has a direct line to Captain Marvel. Yeah, the day could be saved by a pager. Isn't the future great? Evil Vision may be able to decimate the Avengers, but how would he fare against the might of Wakanda along with Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and the Wasp? Since Vision's a smart guy, he'd probably have his own legion of followers, whether biological, mechanical, or a combination, making this an all-out battle royale that I would love to see unfold. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Doctor Strange, whose use of the Time Stone could be a major contributing factor in the battle between Earth's heroes and Vision. After all, we all know how it went for Vision the last time he dealt with someone wielding this particular Infinity Stone. Sorry, too soon. I believe the forces of good could triumph in this case, but would the uprising happen naturally or because of an outside threat? Like, I don't know, Thanos trying to collect all them Infinity Stones. Oh yeah, Thanos would still exist, and I can't imagine he'd be any less motivated to get his big ol' purple mitts on that Mind Stone. Since we know the Mad Titan did wipe out the Nova Corps, I can't imagine he wouldn't just cut his way through Vision's forces and rip that Mind Stone right out of his noggin once again. With Tony Stark long gone, would Doctor Strange be able to find a single future in which half of all life in the universe wouldn't be destroyed? The odds were over 14 million to 1 the first time around, and I'm guessing that they would not improve in a world with evil Vision. Our hero's only chance of defeating Thanos would be to destroy Vision before the Mad Titan showed up, but then they'd still have to stand against him without the Age of Ultron cast. And I don't like those odds, considering how close the last fight was. Remember when I generously decided Vision would not destroy all humans automatically if he was evil? Well, it turns out at least half of them would get wiped out anyway, all thanks to Thanos. Maybe evil Vision's most insidious misdeed would be proving Thanos right.
I am inevitable.
If he had been just a little less kind, Asgard, Earth, and everywhere else in the universe would have ended up in dire straits either directly or indirectly as a result of Vision. Iron Man gets a whole lot of credit for stopping Thanos, but let's not forget about the importance of one of his most impressive and least destructive creations. So, are you hoping for a what-if episode about an evil Vision? Tell us how you think a simple personality change would have had a major impact on the MCU in the comments section down below. And stay connected with us here at CBR by clicking on that nasty little subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again next time.